Nothing to report injury-wise.
Did Peck have a surgery today?
He did.
And was it successful? Or was there any...
They're all successful.
All right.
Have you ever heard of a surgery at home? It's they blew it.
I don't know.
I've never heard that.
I have to ask.
Yeah,
little-
I would, yeah.
He had surgery.
A little poetic justice for Smith. Just Bufflin kind of hit him hard earlier in the game. Then it was Bufflin's turnover that led to that goal.
Yeah, it was. It was, you know, from that standpoint, you know, one of the things when you get hit with a rock like that, and I think it was a good hit. I don't know if Smitty could have went anywhere or Bufflin could have went anywhere, but it was, you know, a pretty solid hit. He's a big man. You know, and that's the best way to respond to that is you know, pick off the turnover and, you know, stick it in net. So a little bit of poetic justice, I think.
Is that a goal that Craig Smith may not have scored last year? I mean, he's getting to the kind of the harder areas and in positions.
Yeah, you know, I think, you know, he's always shoots the puck pretty good. That's always been a little bit, but he's just shooting with confidence. I think that's with anything. He's got a firmer game. He's got a lot more poise in his game. He's not trying to force things. He's just letting it happen. He's playing very instinctively. And I think that was, you know, that's when he's at his best.
Were you pleased with Forsberg's performance tonight?
In some areas, he made some really good plays in some areas. In some areas, there's still, he's 19 years old. You know, there's still some stuff to work on with him, but he's a good young prospect, that's for sure.
Hutton seems to keep impressing. I mean, another win for him tonight.
Yeah, he was really good. I mean, it was sort of a game of streaks. I mean, we came out a little bit flat-footed. Winnipeg tried to jump on us, and I think they were out shooting us 7 or 8-0, and then we, you know, second half of the period we outshot them probably 8-1 or something like that. It was, and it seemed to be that way the whole game. They would have 5 or 6 minutes where they sort of were pushed, had the push on, and then we would have 5 or 6 minutes, and it just sort of went, you know, back and forth. I didn't think, you know, I think they play they're a good transition team. They play fast, and we weren't ready to play that fast right off the hop, and it's hard to play you know, fast when you're turning pucks over and not playing, you know, against teams that are coming at you hard. You got to play a little bit of a north game. You got to put pucks behind their defense. You got to get it on the other side. You got to hang on to it. You got to make a play. We weren't willing to do that early, and therefore we looked slow and methodical. And that's you saw in the third period when we just said, hey, let's just go after these guys, keep it simple, get it behind them. Let's go get some pucks and shoot to create. I didn't think we were passing up too many shots early in the game, and then our second goal was, you know, control breakout sort of setting. And we hit Fisher wide, he hammered it at the net. We got 2 whacks at it, and the second one went in the net, and that's shooting to create sometimes. You know, you put pucks in the net, you get some good bounces, things go your way. Very similar to their tying goal. They got you a puck, they threw it up top, and we blocked the shot. It came back to them. They stepped around the D, and then they made a play, and then they got the second goal. So you can shoot to create. So we started doing that a little bit more in the third.
Decision to scratch Stolberg just related to his lack of production? Or
Yeah, you know, a little bit of lack of production. They need him to play a little bit differently, and so sometimes you do those. You have to make a short-term decision for a long-term gain, and that's what I did today. I felt that was very necessary, and then having Spalling move over to the wing. I didn't know if, you know, with Fish just coming back, how his wind would be, you know, how his injury would be, but he seemed to be fine. So those are the 2 thought processes making that decision. So you know, when you have some depth, you can make some of those decisions.
I know Hutton said he'd been working on his explosiveness with Mitch. I mean, it seemed like that was sort of his biggest attribute tonight, just sort of moving across
absolutely.
the crease.
They've been working on it since training camp, and just getting him to be able to do certain things. And he's really bought into what Mitch is selling, and you saw a number of those saves. He had to be very explosive coming across and doing some of those things. So I thought he was pretty square of the puck, and you know, from a standpoint, they put a lot of rubber towards him, and he handled it just fine.
Obviously, the uncertainty with Pekka's injury and whatnot. Nice to get this win just from a confidence perspective with the backup goaltender. Like you did.
Yeah. Anytime you win, it'll give you some confidence. But I think from our standpoint, you know, some of our greatest stories we've ever had in Nashville has been based on an injury, and especially at goal. I mean, you look at the Dunham, we found Vokoun, we found Mason, you know. It just, you go down the line, you know, Dan Ellis, I mean, at various positions that we've been able to do that. And so I think we talked about, you know, people are gonna go down, and if you wanna be a good team, when people go down, everybody steps up, everybody does what they need to, and you become a really good team, and you stay consistent and play a certain way and play the way you need to win hockey games. And I think the guys will buy into it. This group certainly is a group that is very capable of being a very good hockey team, even though Pekka has been an all-star caliber player for us. There's injuries around the league. You just got to overcome that. And I think this group is very resilient and very capable of overcoming some adversity. I've thrown adversity all through training camp at them in different settings, and they just find a way to fight through it. So I give them a lot of credit. It's a real strong group, and a group that has a lot of those intangible parts in that room. So I think this is just one of the things that happens to us as a group, and we'll overcome.
Weber's wrist shot looks a heck of a lot like his slap shot.
Yeah, it can go. There's a couple of guys that could shoot tonight. Obviously, Bufflin for the Jets is he's got a cannon too. So it takes a lot of courage to block shots, especially when he's shooting, and same with Webby when he's shooting. And there's some guys with a lot of courage out there.